Hello everybody, this is Mike Jr. II, and I figured today we would play something that I knew people wouldn't care if certain things weren't right with it and whatnot, and I figured I could do it to test some of my new hardware that I got recently. But today we are going to do a Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This isn't, just to get it right out of the way, this isn't going to be 100% Let's Play. I'm not going to treat this game seriously like I do with some other games where I try to hold some story aspects from you guys, though I've realized recently a lot of you don't like the idea that I play stupid all the time when I'm playing games, like I've never played it before, despite the fact I've probably played it 100 times. So, you know, I'll try to stop doing that. But for this game in particular, I'm gonna act like you've played this game before. You know, I'm not really gonna spoil anything, as there's not really much to spoil in this game. But overall, I do want to say, I understand that this is a game that's been Let's Played probably 10,000 times, and this isn't going to be 100%, this is going to be a casual run of me playing through this game, and the only other difference is that this is the Gamecube version of this game. So if you don't know what this is, actually, this is the Collector's Edition for the Gamecube. It basically came out with Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. Sadly, the only console game missing is, A Link to the Past, which really sucks because that would have been a nice game to have to kind of play out here, but what do you do? So basically they're just remakes of, not remakes, but they're just ports of these games. Like, these are just ROMs being played on emulators. Though the interesting thing is that The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask is actually being played in 480i, and I think it can also be played at 480p. Not exactly sure on that last part, but that means a lot, and honestly this game looks a lot clearer. I was originally going to play this on my Nintendo 64 with my actual cartridge, but I didn't necessarily like how it looked, but this game looks a lot better because it runs at 480i, so I don't know, you know, some people may not like it, but, you know, I think it's pretty good. It also comes with a retrospective, which just kind of shows all of the Legend of Zelda games up to this point. I think the special movie is basically just a trailer and a 20-minute demo of The Wind Waker, which is a good game in its own right, but that's not what we are going to be playing today. So, also you can get some info on the different games in the, when they were released and whatnot, but with that out of the way, let's just start this game already, and yes, we'll have the Rumble feature going. Apparently this game does have its own set of issues, but, you know, overall, I still think this is a really good port of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and if you were to play this version of the game, you know, I wouldn't doubt you for it. I do think maybe you should try the Wii version instead. Maybe not the Wii U port, but, or the Virtual Console release. 3DS version also works, which, if you guys know me, I have the 3DS capture card, so technically I could have played that version. But I figured I'll play that in the future when I play Master Quest or whatever off that. But no, this is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, considered by many to be one of the best games of all time, period. It's basically right next to Final Fantasy VII, which, with being one of the most LP'd games out there, one of the most, you know, one of the most hyped games. Like, people will tell you, again, that this game is one of the best games of all time, let alone one of the best Zelda games of all time. And, you know, that really has its own set of issues because many people out there, when they hear that, they freak the fuck out. Because what happens a lot is people have hyped it up for so long, and as you can see, there's a little bit of difference here between the actual gameplay and it trying to read and write memory onto the memory card here. Because if you keep in mind, we are going from a cartridge game to a disc game, and especially with a memory card. So, you know, it kind of messes with things a little bit. It's not like how it would play on, like, the Virtual Console or something, where they tried to emulate it a bit closer. But the only thing that really gets me here is that this thing goes really fast right here. I don't know what it is, but it feels like this specific screen goes like 60 frames or some shit. It's kind of crazy. So I figure we'll go with just my normal name. We're going to go with Mike here. And we'll call it a day. So anyway, yeah, that just goes so quick there, which is weird, because the original game itself runs at 20 frames per second, though I do think I don't know if this game runs faster at all. I don't know, it feels like it ran faster than my actual Nintendo 64, so it's just kind of weird there. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, this game really doesn't need any introduction. I don't need much to say about it. Only thing I really can say is that, again, I feel like you can really compare this game to Final Fantasy VII when it comes to just everything. You know, back in the day, it was either this game was the best game of all time or Final Fantasy VII was the best game of all time. And if you don't know what Final Fantasy VII is, it's a PlayStation 1 game, so it was kind of a combatant at each other. But, you know, it was... And there was so much hype between both these games, and there's so many, you know, hardened fans that, you know, you never played this game, you don't like this game, fuck you, you're a worst person ever, you don't know games, etc., etc. You know, so the fan base of Ocarina of Time and Final Fantasy VII can really get at fans and whatnot. Is the music okay here? I swear there's supposed to be more music here. I don't know. Maybe it's emulation issues. Who knows? But anyway, no. I do really think that they did a you know. When people kind of freak out about that kind of shit, it really makes people go, well, this game fucking sucks. Because when you have so many fans that kind of freak out about that stuff, they, like, people all of a sudden go, because people hate this game, and I think that's a kind of a, you know, bad way to say it. But real quick here, I do want to say, was I the only one who thought this scene was actually Navi, like, in a little area, like, in a little, like, mountain or something? Like, she's, like she was just born or some shit? What, was I the only one who thought that at first? Because as we find out later, that she's actually in front of the Great Deku Tree. And I never got that until, like, I was a lot older for some reason. I don't know, it's weird to me. But anyway, you can tell how good this game kind of looks on the Gamecube because, I don't know, I feel like the textures look a little bit more smoother, and especially the text is a lot different. I'll try to do, because I did try, like I said, I tried to record this off my Nintendo 64, and it didn't really turn out as well, but I'll try to show some screenshots at differences if I can during certain scenes like this to show kind of how different they were. So anyway, oh, nope, I'm trying not to go past these things in case people actually want to read them and they actually fucking care, who knows. I doubt it, you know, this is really just a testing Let's Play right here, just to fuck around and have some fun. And this specific scene was kind of here to show off 3D, like this is a 3D world, you can walk around all this stuff. But I have to say, it looks a little bit blurry here for some reason. I don't know. But, no, it's just, you know, some people might kind of hate this kind of bit, but honestly, you know, the point of it was to show off the 3D world, so it kind of makes sense for the time period. It's one of those, it's like Mode 7, basically. This is the Mode 7 on the Nintendo 64. You know, like, you know, it wants to show off all the 3D. Look at all this stuff. It's so cool. And then we go to this specific area, which I think is just a pre-rendered... I swear it's just pre-rendered stuff. Anyway, now she's trying to get us out of bed, but we just want to sleep all day, despite the fact that we actually don't have a blanket. Maybe. I could be as lazy as I fucking want to be, Navi. Alrighty then. So if you're curious what I'm recording this off of, because I said I was doing this record hardware, I really should have brought that up. I'll put that in the description first. I am recording this off an S-Video quality, off of an S-Video only setup, because I had to change the cords I was using. And I am recording this with the Framemeister through my Elgato. The Framemeister is a really expensive piece of fucking hardware. So, yeah, it's kind of a big deal to be recording off of a Framemeister. And I've wanted to... I haven't really been playing with it much, because I want to finish... I know I want to play Thousand Year Door off this, but off the Framemeister, like just on my own time, not to record because I still haven't beaten that game. But overall, I've just been wanting to do something with the Framemeister, and I figured out, you know, this game is a game that I know nobody's going to care about. If, you know, if people want to watch it, they can watch it. But God, her face looks so much more clear on this. It's ridiculous. Like, again, I'll try to show off the differences here, but holy crap, it really does look a lot better on the GameCube. As much as I'm sure people are like, oh, inaccuracies, it's, you know, it shouldn't be recorded at this quality, or, you know, it shouldn't be played off this quality, etc., whatever. So, you know, again, to each their own, you know, if you really hate that's up to you, but in all honesty, I think it looks really fucking good, and especially, like, compared to what the Framemeister's doing here, it's doing a fantastic job. The only thing I had to do is I had to zoom in because, I had to zoom in because if you actually go inside of areas, there's like a little, like, black circle that zooms in on, like, you know, it just kind of zooms in, but there's like a little bit of stuff. I don't know if this would be it. No, I think it would be different here. It's not like I think it's like going into like Kakariko Village or some shit like that. But basically going in and out of those areas is like, going in and outside of those areas has a little bit of, like, overscan stuff there. If you've ever played, like, the Sega Genesis off of an actual TV, it actually covers up the fucking, you know, there's, like, weird colors and shit everywhere, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And it's because on a normal CRT back in the day, it would actually play these outside of, you know, you wouldn't see those at all. It would cover those up, so the developers never thought, oh, I need to get rid of those, because things are going to go full digital one day instead of analog, so that's what that's all about. So anyway, I will skip. I've kind of talked about that now. I will skip until the point where I get enough money that I want. So I will catch you guys then. Alright then guys, so we are back. I decided to get a little more rubies than usual just to kind of have them in the future, and there's an extra 5 because the game wants to fuck with me. So anyway, right now the game is basically teaching us how to play with the whole the lock-on feature, which really is one of the best features in the entire game. It really sold 3D gaming action to a lot of people. So the reason why we have to do that is because we have to get our hands on a shield. Now, when I was a kid and as I got older, I always thought, every time I started this game over again, I always thought you needed 80 rubies for this shield, but you only need 40. I don't know where I got that idea from, but, you know, that's just me. We could also technically buy other stuff there, but it makes no sense to, so, you know. So because we did that, we now need to actually go equip the shield as well. Here's our inventory and everything. And to save in this game, you press the backspace button, and if you press save, it actually takes you back to this whole memory card screen thing, which I'm actually curious whether or not they didn't want that to go between 480i all of a sudden to go to the game's HUD. So I'm really curious whether or not the game's at 480i because of that, or if they're doing it for its own reason. So anyway, if you've never played this game before, you need a sword and a shield to continue further. Some guy won't let you go talk to the Great Deku Tree, so basically we have basically gone and bought ourselves a shield, and now we are going to go find ourselves a secret sword somewhere. Actually, what does that sign say? Is that supposed to be the sign that teaches us how to do this kind of stuff? Alright, so yeah, this whole area kind of teaches you how to play the game. You know, I wouldn't call it the best hub world, but, you know, it's pretty good if you ask me, to help teach you the controls. And keep in mind, too, it's supposed to, you know, wow you with the whole, holy shit, this game's in 3D. And it also looks really good in 3D as well. I'm sure some people will disagree and, you know, consider this game horrible, ugly looking, I don't fucking know. Because, again, people absolutely hate this game because of, you know, hardcore fans have basically told, you know, put them off on this game. It's probably one of the better ways to put it. And, real quick, too, if you've never played the Gamecube version before, you can tell that this is you can tell they changed a few things, because the action button is red and the select button, or I don't know exactly how to put it, but the I don't know how I'd put it. It's just basically the button for the A button is green now, which used to be the B button on the Nintendo 64 controller, and the because the GameCube also has the what was the B button was green, and then I think the blue one was blue was A, and the Nintendo 64 button setup. Here it actually shows it like it's the GameCube, which honestly I have to appreciate, because when, you know, people try to emulate games, you know, nowadays, they would just keep the color. Like the Nintendo 64 version of this on the Wii and Wii U, it'll keep the whole color setup like it was on the original Nintendo 64. So, you know, I kind of appreciate that, kind of, just because you don't know because a lot of people probably played this game for the first time. Because a lot of people out there might have been like, you know, I don't really want a GameCube, but, you know, I don't really want a Nintendo 64, but a GameCube. Oh hey, they just released Ocarina of Time. You know what? You know, if you were a PlayStation fan or something, you know, people told you that was one of the best games of all time. You know, fuck, I gotta play Ocarina of Time. So, you know, it was probably a reason they did that, and they understood that this was still going to be a lot of people's first game. Blah blah blah. And this is Mido, by the way. He's an asshole who, again, won't let us go forward because of that. Oh, and Navi is talking to us right now. If you see the top right corner, if you press up on the direction on at least the C buttons back on the Nintendo 64 controller, she kind of gives you advice at where you needs to go. A lot of people hate Navi. I love Navi. Am I the only one who? I'm like the one majority who like thinks like Navi's pretty cool. I like games that tell you what you're, you know, where you were supposed to be going when you left off. You know, I do, or kind of give you advice if you don't know what you're doing. I love that. I think Navi's an awesome character because of that. We also get our first enemy here, which are also kind of show us that kind of get us an idea that number one, we can't touch enemies, and number two, they don't move, so it gives us an idea how combat's gonna kind of work. Oh wait, I know they regroup back. Oh fuck it, we'll get some more Deku sticks. You wanna? Oh hey, look, I have never seen that graphic up close before. Oh shit, that's weird. Alrighty, then that should be enough. I don't know how many Deku sticks we can actually get our hands on. Oh hey, 6, and we still don't have enough, damn. So anyway, here is the Great Deku Tree, the wise tree of the forest. I think this is the first appearance of the Great Deku Tree, I mean, I know that Did You Know Gaming tried to show the whole... Was it Did You Know Gaming, I think it was? They tried to be all, like, cool with, like, oh, hey, you know, this could have been the... There's an area in Zelda 1 where you go inside of a tree with a face, but... you know, even if that can be considered the great, you know, a dead Great Deku tree, you know, this is definitely the, you know, this is the start of the, you know, the Great Deku tree. To my knowledge, anyway. If I'm missing anything in A Link to the Past, then feel free to slap me across the face. So anyway, he's asking us if we'll go inside and defeat the curse that somebody laid upon him. Yeah, listen to her words well, which for some reason people hate to death. I don't know why. Because people think, like, she goes, hey, listen, all the fucking time. Like, you guys are bullshit. She does not go, hey, listen, that fucking often. She will only do that if she's trying to give you a hint, like, within a dungeon or a certain segment or something. Like, get the fuck over it. She doesn't do it all the damn time. At least in my opinion, anyway. I'm sure some people will disagree, but fuck it. Alrighty then. So now we actually get Great Dekus that actually try to attack you. You know, they can't move still, but they can lunge at you. And something really cool about Navi as well, and something I wish other Zelda games in general would fucking do. They only brought this back in Skyward Sword, and Fi was fucking annoying with that shit. They give you the names and how to kind of beat the enemies, and, you know, I really like that. Am I the only one? Or, I don't want to keep saying that. I'm repeating myself. But seriously, like, that was so cool for you to be able to find out the names of the enemies on the spot without having to look in the book or, you know, back at, you know, not more in platforming games, but they would only tell you after you beat the game the names of the enemies, which I think is weird. I don't know, I really wish they would go back to that. No hearts, cheapskates. Alrighty then. So, but the whole Navi will only, like, talk to you constantly, like, here, you know, this might get annoying if you're kind of going backwards and then going forward again. But basically she's telling you, oh, hey, look, it's, you can see down below this web using up. And, you know, that's also showing that in certain segments she will give you tips. So, you know, but, yeah, I really appreciate, you know, maybe people don't like that as much. Maybe they think that's hand-holding in a sense. I don't fucking know. But, but I don't know, I really like Navi. I think she's a lot better than people put her out to be. And honestly, she is the reason why, well, she's not exactly the reason, you know, they could have had a lock-on mechanic without Navi, but that lock-on mechanic basically saved 3D action games. Because, you know, a lot of games try doing them without the whole, yeah, you can climb on the fucking walls, Navi, I don't give a fuck. Navi's a really good character, and I don't know why people don't like her. Navi, shut the fuck up, okay? I'm trying to talk here. Okay, now that's getting annoying. Now it's getting hand-holdy. But this doesn't last for long, so very least there's that. Later, she'll just give you advice. Like right here, she'll be like, you can't open the door yet. Oh my god, a zoom up on Link's face. This is also one of the first games where Link's his handsome blonde self. I think one of the game director's wives was talking to him about how, you know, why isn't there any good-looking, like, characters in video games, and that's why they made Link blonde and blue-eyed instead of the brown-haired Link, or technically the pink-haired Link. That's one thing I just can't get over after A Link to the Past. His hair's fucking pink. I don't know, that's just fucking weird. I think there's some hacks that have been able to get past that too, but his hair is fucking pink. Come on, people. Alrighty then, so basically you have to go across this thing, and it breaks, so we have to find another way to get out of here, but we do get our hands on side of our first dungeon item. The Fairy Slingshot, which is basically, we're gonna go first-person shooter on these guys' asses. Okay, not really. We're not gonna go Doom, sadly. Though I wonder if that's a concept anybody's ever fucked with. Like, you know, like instead you have like a Doom scenario, but instead, not Doom necessarily, but I'm trying to think of the right word for this, but basically like you're playing with why can't I fucking think of it? Basically you are playing with like the, what is it, deathmatch arena kind of games? I think that's the right term for those kind of games. But, like, instead you have, like, Legend of Zelda weapons that are more, like, long range, like the bow, the arrow, the boomerang, that kind of stuff. So anyway, with the slingshot, we can now knock down these Skulltulas. Actually, no, I think they're Squaltulas? Like, specifically, they're like, they have wall in their name because they want to be cutesy. I don't fucking know. So anyway, there's also another little fucker up here. He's usually the guy that's probably going to get you more than the other two are, but you want to make sure you kill him. Now we can climb this wall with no problem. Oh god, we can't climb diagonally. Oh god. Oh god, it's coming back to me now. old things we can't do anymore in games. So, but no, this game in terms for me, this really was a game that kind of showed me how much I loved video games and like how much I have to give credit for a lot of games out there. Yeah, so this is a big Skulltula. And usually they take 2 hits, but the whole Z going forward with a slash attack counts as 2 hits. And now hopefully I don't fuck this up, because I always do. Alright, so. There we go, okay. I usually fuck that up. I never got that as a kid, too. I was so stupid with a lot of things in this game, I never figured them out. Fuck you, and fuck you. Alright, another stick. And we should get some seeds soon? No, we don't, okay. So over here as well, you hear that fucking annoying noise. That's because we have these fuckers, and these guys are one of the reasons I will not do a 100% playthrough of this fucking game. Because they are, wait for it, a golden Skulltula! With these little, I know technically you guys didn't see the text yet, but, you know, I'm saying it anyway, because fuck it. But, you know, oh, here we go, seeds. But the golden Skulltula, I think there's like 120 of them in this game. I could be wrong, but I think it's 120. Fuck that. I am not fucking getting 120 of those fucking things. Just, you know, and the issue is that the reward for them sucks. It really does. Oh yeah, heart. Because I was really begging for hearts. I'm really surprised they don't actually give you Deku sticks for what we're gonna find out what we need. Alright then, so now I think we can get this from here. Yep. That's 2 golden Skulltulas. I might try to get I know I want to get like the first few of the golden Skulltulas. I'll try to get as many as I can get. But I think like after like the first few rewards you get for it, it really doesn't make any sense.